to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sport Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. EDO State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
The ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the King of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labor, and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written. How our
was Lagos State in 1973, and of course in 1975 Lagos State also hosted the tournament. In 1977, while we were celebrating culture and heritage during the First Act 77, Kaduna State hosted the tournament. And Ibadan in 1979, and the tournament was tagged Oluyole. In 1981, we had Bendel 81. And of course, in 1985, Kwara came on board. In 1988, we had Rivers State hosting the tournament. And Lagos State in 1989 hosted the tournament for the very third time. And in 1991, we had Bauchi. Makurdi in 1996 came on board. And Imo State hosted the tournament in 1998. At the turn of the century in 2000, Bauchi again hosted the tournament. And in 2002, Edo State hosted the tournament. In 2004, Abuja came on board. And of course, we now went to the Gateway State in Ogun to host the tournament in 2006. Kaduna hosted the tournament in 2009, though the tournament was supposed to have been held in 2008, but they asked for, or they solicited for a one-year gap, so the tournament was now hosted in 2009. And we had Garden City, that is Port Harcourt, hosting the tournament in 2011. And of course, a year after, to follow the agreement, hosted the tournament in 2012. The tournament was supposed to have been held in Cross River State's Calabar in 2014, but after a series of postponement and of course intrigues, Bamba the gorilla now finally remained in the rainforest, so we ended up not seeing Bamba, so the tournament was not hosted. So Abuja decided to host the tournament in 2018, and that was the 19th edition of the tournament. And now we are hosting it for the very third time in Edo State in 2021. But of course, this tournament was supposed to have been hosted last year, but because of the pandemic, we could not host that tournament. So we are hosting it in 2021. 21. And this is the third time that Edo is hosting it. And from the rundown, you will discover that Lagos State has hosted the tournament 4 times, and Edo now is hosting it for them. In 1983, 1984, 1987, 1999, 1993, 1994, 1995, there was no tournament. So rather, we would have been celebrating the 24th edition of the tournament. Unfortunately, we had some gaps in between. So once again, I welcome you to Edo 2020 live studio. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, we're going to be chatting with our guest for.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. Edo 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. Edo 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival.
You're welcome back to the program. Godwin Dudu Orume, Esquire, B.A. Horns, English and Literature, LLB, is a lawyer, a journalist, and sports promoter. A cauldron of 1,000 and a very enthusiastic sports fan. Special advisor to the chairman, National Sports Commission. This was in 1990. The executive producer, NTA multi-award winning TV sports show, The Best of Football. The program ran from 1993 to the year 9. He is the founder, Sports Shack, Nigeria's premier sports bar, and of course he's also the founder of Crest Football Academy and Multi and Entertainment, and of course he's also into sports marketing, has a promotion company, and presently he is the chairman of Edo State Sports Commission and has served on the NFA and NFF Technical Committee variously from the year 1993 to 2010, and many other reforms committee in sports. Dudu Orume comes from OK. Is it OK?
Okay.
OK. Old Side, Ora, in Owan West local government area of Edo State, right?
That's right.
Good. So, Dudu Orume, you are welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You said you are a cauldron of 1,000 and more ideas in sports. Have you been able to sell these your ideas to the governor of Edo State?
Yes, I did, and that's why he appointed me chairman of the commission.
So he bought your ideas?
Exactly. On sports development, sports promotion, and repositioning Edo State sports to its proper position as the #1 sports state in the country. And of course, in a few years, we hope to be destination 1 for sports tourism in this country, given the investments of His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki in sports facilities and sports development.
So is Edo State now the #1 state?
We're getting there, and it's one of the reasons why we bidded to host the sports festival, and then of course to show the people the many opportunities that are bound in sports promotion as it affects the commercial and social life of the people. And plan is to create a value chain where Edo State, citizens of Edo State would see sports as an empowerment platform, as a unity connect, community development and for development and empowerment of youth and young adults. And of course, at the end of the day, it is positioned properly to contribute to the GDP of Edo State.
What is sports marketing?
Sports marketing is the idea of creating a concept, developing it into a product, and getting companies in the private sector to buy into it. In return for their sponsorship money, they get values from supporting the sport with their money.
Can you market athletes?
Can market athletes. And we are in the position, Edo State Sports Commission will develop a youth sports league. And the youth sports league is structured to, along the lines of La Liga, where a club will have a football team and a basketball team. There are 18 local governments, and Mr. Governor is building mini stadia in 18 of them. The Edo State's youth sports will be using those facilities. They will play in North and Southern conferences, and then of course we will have 20 teams in 18 local government. Edo, for instance, will have about 3 because of the cosmopolitan nature of the place. Now the idea is, by the end of 2 years into the 3rd year, we would have developed a brand. The best 26 players go on tour of Europe, go play in Gotia Cup, play in major tournaments, and we hope to be able to sell 5-6 of those players. And in return for the investment of the government and its partners, because it's going to be a partnership thing, we will sell players in football, we will sell players in basketball, and we will get money from it. And we're talking about good dollars.
Is poaching part of marketing?
I wouldn't say that, but you see, you may poach a potential, because sometimes a potential is there under somebody's nose, doesn't know that this is talent. So if you see the talent and you take the talent and develop technically and put the financial resources to the realization of the person's true potentials, poaching would not be a fair way to refer to it after that.
Is poaching a crime?
I don't think so. It's probably a moral argument, but you see, the point is when you poach a player, a sportsman, and you develop the person, at the end of the day, the end product becomes the important thing.
So highest bidder? No,
that's a totally different thing. Today's sports is reached that point. I mean, there is a footballer in Bundesliga today, Erling Haaland. He's an amazing talent. His club had placed a get-out clause of about £64 million. But today, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Chelsea are interested in the same player. So it's gone up from 65 million to 100 million plus. So at that point, becomes that of the highest bidder. It's allowed in the business.
Now you are the chairman of the Edo State Sports Commission. Have you been vaccinated? Yes,
I have, and it feels good to have done the exercise.
How did you feel?
A mild headache for a few minutes, 15-20 minutes, but it soon disappeared. And I don't think it's a challenge at all. I encourage everybody to go out there and let's stay safe. And the best thing to do is better to have the vaccination and get on with life and feel free. But that's not to mean that people should discard their face mask. It's still important to...
You're not apprehensive?
No.
Somehow?
No, because I come from a family, both my parents were nurses, and my first spouse was is a doctor. I come from an informed position, and being a lawyer, I've been able to read through the various literature, and I feel convinced that's the way to go. And then, of course, I always stand behind my bosses, their excellencies, Gordon Obaseki and Philip Shaibu. If they did, then I should.
Okay, well, this is not a personality interview, so I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear you say your first spouse. Now, what is the level of preparedness of the Edo State contingent for the National Sports Festival as the host state?
Edo State sports contingent is getting into, is in gear 3 right now. We hope to be in gear 4 by the time the games begin. As you know...
Remember that there's gear 5 now.
Yes, well, that will be somewhere into the games. Yeah, but you know, because of the many shifting dates and the lethargy it created, a lot of people are overweight, and some people are not used to staying indoors and the rest of it. No, I'm in the right weight. But I think that together, Team Edo is getting ready. I've watched some trials going on today. A few more will happen, and we're monitoring the athletes in all sports, especially the areas where we have particular advantages, and we think that when the games begin, we're there, you know, with a good chance.
So what games will the state be participating in?
Well, participating in all sports approved. And our strengths are in the combat sports, track and field, the ball games too. We have strengths in most of those sports. Gymnastics, we're there. Badminton, we're good. Boxing, we have fair chance. But all the other combat sports, karate, judo, kickboxing, it will take more than heaven's help to beat us.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so apart from these combat sports, what other ones? I see you at the golf course. Come on.
Yeah, we have a good team too for golf. We have a good team for golf, I can assure you. And somehow I think His Excellency the Deputy Governor is probably going to play for us.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Last week he won a tournament at the club.
Yes.
He's in shape.
He actually won the monthly medal.
He'll probably be giving us
71 made.
Exactly. He'll probably be giving us 2-3 gold medals.
Why not?
Yes.
All right. So where have all these athletes been training?
We've had different locations, and mostly University of Benin. And there are other avenues or venues like the Etiti Sports Complex. There is Adelaw College, which has the best cricket ground in West Africa. As a matter of fact, the South-South Cricket Championship has been on since last week. The female edition was won by Edo State. We entered 2 clubs, came first and second. We have a ferocious female cricket team. So in cricket alone, we are short of 4 gold medals. Today, our boys are doing great. And we have easily the youngest teams in the tournament. And the latest ICC report says Edo State is the fastest growing sport for cricket in the world. And that's something. And of course, the Paralympics, the best of Nigeria's team is actually in Edo State. So a lot of the sports in Paralympics, sports events, we won gold medals from them. I
like your optimism and confidence.
Yeah, it's based on what I see. And then, of course, like I jokingly tell my friend, was University of Ogbe Stadium. As a teenage boy, I lived behind Ogbe Stadium, and I saw everything. So when I had the opportunity to work with the government on sports development and promotion, I had no jot of doubt that I am in the right place, because Edo State is sports. Everything from tennis to football, and as a matter of fact, it is when Edo State is national teams that Nigeria wins. And that's where we're going to. I'm not doing anything new. I'm actually dusting up the scripts of Mudia. When he was governor, Edo State was the #1, and we were feared. We had awesome performances and outings in sports. That's where we're headed for. And just, moving what the legend did in his time to ensure that Edo State is #1 state in sports in Nigeria.
Maybe I'm not supposed to be asking you this, but as the chairman of the State Sports Commission, I should be asking you what it is that is motivating the athletes.
They have seen a government that believes sports is a powerful tool for development of the individual and society. We've been able to transmit this message to them that the power of sport is endless, because even after you're playing your active days, we will have arrangements where you retire and you're not forgotten. And we have been able to give them the message of the government that in sports they can place their trust. And then, of course, the massive investment of the Obaseki government in sports facilities, because sports runs on facilities, good facilities. And the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium is the best there is in the continent. There's so many features there. It has the fastest track in the world, same track as the one Usain Bolt set his first world record. And the squash court is world class. The swimming pool, world class. Everything there and the support facilities are enough indications that government places massive emphasis on sports, its promotion, its possibilities, opportunities, and of course, dividends.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we'll come back. We are going to be talking about the selection process of the athletes and also taking a look at our sporting facilities. Stay with us.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communication Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will protect the Samuel Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communication Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival. EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also...
All right, you're welcome back. Now let's go to the governor's page to take one or two comments. This one is coming from our regular customer, Ubiaja Uhe. He says, would you be using the Uniben golf course for the competition? That is the golf course that is situated
UBTH.
UBTH, yes. Would you be using it?
No, it could be used for warm-up, but the real tournament is at the Benin Club.
Was there any reason why the Benin Club was chosen over the UBTH?
Yes. One, because of its centrality, we're looking at logistics as well. And you may say that UDBN is a games village, but most of the people who are taking part in golf are obviously going to be uptown people. And then, of course, it's nearer the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium where the collation of results and stuff will be. And then, of course, there is a fantastic electronic scoreboard installed at the Benin Golf Club. And as you know, Mr. Governor and Deputy Governor, they play golf there too, so it kind of swung it.
They play UBTH as well?
Yes, they play, but the Benin Club is #1 golf course in Edo State. So naturally, we're also hoping, like I said in the earlier part of our chat, that one of the things we want to show the people is that when you come for the sports festival, there are things like this you can see. So you're going to be in, you stay in a hotel in Jari, and you're a member of any of the other clubs outside, easy access to Benin Club, it's easier to sell. But, you know, that's not to say that the one in UBTH is not good. It's fantastic, I can assure you. But, you know, warm up there and it will be nice. And after the games, we'll be having championships, especially youth promotional championships in UBTH.
UBTH is actually a very good practice ground for golfers, so that when you come to the one at Benin Club, you make me meet out of the people there.
Yeah.
All right, okay. And this one is saying, how prepared are the athletes in the camp?
Well, right now we're going to doing vaccinations and doing a double check on who is available, and the medicals are on too. But I tell you, I can assure you that mentally they're geared and ready for the sports festival. And then, of course, we came third in the last edition, and our target is to come first. And we're talking about the officials and managers of Team EDO being in a position well equipped to psych the athletes up. You see, the thing about sports is that talent accounts for only about 30% of what you need to do sports. Luck, 10%. The 60% is organization. And organization means preparing your athletes technically and getting them mentally ready, getting them physically ready, and be ready for the business at hand, and we're on top of it.
So the representatives, how were they selected, and what plans are there to ensure that there is sustainable stream of athletes?
First of all, we've had the issue of program athletes like many other states over time, but it's looking like it's becoming moribund, so we're shifting towards the collegiate system. But having said that, we had the Edo State Sports Festival, which hadn't happened for 15 years. His Excellency, the Governor, graciously allowed us a session in which we selected younger athletes and new potentials to freshen the team. So we have a mix of experience and youth, and we sufficiently put them on alert on what is expected of them. And there are promises, or should I put it this way, incentives for good performance, and good performance will be adequately rewarded.
What is the relationship between the experienced athletes and the younger ones that are coming on board? Because, we've had situations whereby the older ones always do not want to give chances to the younger ones coming on board.
Well, that happens even in the corporate world. It happens too in political, in the larger polity, it happens everywhere. But the coaches are, trained and equipped to manage the different groups to ensure, especially in the team sports, and they work together as a unit, and we're beginning to change orientation, let the older athletes know they have a responsibility to mentor the younger ones, because they're not going to be there forever.
So where do you plan to finish on the medal table?
Our expectation is to finish as number one.
I wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
So in what games do you think we stand the most chances to best the other competitors?
I told you earlier, the combat sports. All of the combat sports, we have strong advantage.
Why I'm asking that again is because we have some people that are just coming onto the program and they're just saying it for the very first time.
Okay, gymnastics, we're there. Track and field, we're there. Boxing, judo, karate, kickboxing, cycling, swimming to some extent. And we have some strong medal hopefuls in swimming too. And I think that the combination, here, there, the gathering will fetch us. We have a target about 130 to 140 gold medals. That should win us the championship.
The cricket that you spoke about, how does it relate to this EDO 2020 Sports Festival?
Cricket is a sport that's been played in all previous sports festivals.
But not all states played.
Most states play it. Off the cuff, I can tell you all the states in Southwest, South, Kaduna, Bauchi. Some of the best cricketers have come from up north, and the rest of it. But it's a very serious sport. The current president of the Cricket Federation is from the northern part of the country, and the vice president, our own Akpata, first vice president, is chairman of Edo State Cricket Association, a promoter of the game. And I tell you what, cricket, I had a chat yesterday with an old cricketer, one of the Agoda boys, Kome, and we did some mental video. We recapped that at some point, cricket had more stars than football. Yeah, in Nigeria, except that because cricket has its foundation in government colleges and missionary schools, especially the Catholic, so it's not a game that can be interpreted by a lot of people. People who think it's elitist like golf, but it's very simple, but requires a lot of...
Golf is not elitist.
Well, that's what people think.
There's a perception.
Yeah, it's a perception. Same thing as cricket, but it's an exciting game. Today, if you go to Adelaide College on a Saturday morning, you see over 200 children between age 7 and 15 playing cricket. It's like a movement. It's amazing, and Edo State cricket is ahead. Everybody in terms of development, and in the sports festival we trust our chance to get about 4 gold medals. We are current under 17 champions, we are current female champions, and at different levels. I mean, we have shown that we are nearly a third of the national team at different levels.
But if you are to look at other cricketers, who would you say is our strongest opponent?
Lagos State, Imo State, for men, then for women, Akwa Ibom and Lagos too. But like I told you yesterday, we had a nail-biting experience beating Lagos State, and the previous day we lost to Imo State, who were beaten by Lagos State. And it's when I leave here, I'm going for the afternoon session. Cricket is a thrill, and we intend to shoot. I mean, there are 2 good centers now. Iyoba has a new cricket pitch too. We intend to introduce it to more schools, and then of course keep the children busy. And a child that's engaged in cricket and sports particularly stays out of trouble, because I had a turbulent teenage, but sports kept me out of trouble, kept me out of mischief, which was one of the reasons why it was so easy for me to go into sports business. And I can tell you, in the words of Nelson Mandela, that sports gives hope. Sports gives a future even where despair exists. We intend to exploit that to the benefit of the people of Edo State. And I have 2 bosses who believe in the power of sports.
Okay. So how would you now rate the sporting facilities in Edo State?
Top notch.
Are you saying that because you are the chairman of Edo State Sports
No,
Commission?
That's one of the reasons we have the sports festival. We are inviting people, come and see what the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium is today. A few years ago, it was like the place where native doctors had meetings. Yeah.
Say that again.
I said a few years ago, that stadium was like a place where native doctors have meetings. But today it's first class. Everything there is top of the range. And then there are other facilities which we hope that after the sports festival, we can invite federations to come and have their campaigns, their training. I'm sure you must have heard that the Honorable Minister says Nigeria's Olympic team will camp in Benin because of our first-class facilities.
That's true.
What else can I say about what we have?
So what happens to the facilities after 2020?
Well, the Sports Commission and the government will continue to generate activities. Like I said, when I was given the appointment, it wasn't because we wanted to host the sports festival. It was because we want to make Edo State Destination 1 for sports. I told you about the youth sports coming up.
Yeah.
We have Opepe Road Race. We are bringing back the Ugbe Hard Court. Yeah. We have the youth tournament coming in. We have the Benin Mini Marathon that is scheduled to start just after the festival. And you see, as long as you run activities and sponsors are paying for the activities, then you can service the facilities. So we're ready to ensure that we regain our position as #1 state in sports, and then of course, because we have the facilities to promote these sporting events, we're certain that we will continue to do well.
So what plans do we have for grassroots sports development in the state?
Well, we're going to be working in tandem with the Ministry of Education. We will deploy athletes who are past their best, retrain them and send them to primary schools, secondary schools, vocational institutions to train them. We will make inter-house sports compulsory. There will be at least one day. See, when we're young, before you put on your school uniform, you wear your games pants, the right routine PT behind on your back. We want to bring all that back because not only does it produce, we're planning to produce athletes to win competition, we want to reshape the minds of the children. We want to retrain them and keep them busy. And you know, a healthy body definitely has a healthy mind. And those are the kind of people that the Edo State is planning to bring out.
All right, thank you very much. We'll take a short break now. We'll come back. We'll continue with the program. Stay with us.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for. The 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade as 185 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the Sports Fiesta open on April 6, 2021.
We have Godwin Dudu Olume with us in the studio. Just briefly, why are we not seeing Brand Ebewele on the show that is coming from one of our viewers on the governor's page? I think we're going to bring him on. Who is Brand Ebewele?
Brand Ebewele is more or less technical head of Team EDO. Is coordinating. I left him while watching trials at the Samuel Memorial Stadium. He'll be on the show to see his part of it, and I can assure you he has his information.
Hope the special athletes are being taken care of. That is a question from one of our viewers.
Yes, more than the normal ones, because their own requires a bit more.
Because they have special needs.
Needs, exactly.
Okay, it says we know Team EDO will do well on the powerlifting. That's what somebody's saying.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. We have the advantage in Paralympic sports, especially powerlifting.
Okay, good. So now, are we likely to witness more national and local sports competitions in the state?
Exactly. It was one of the layers.
We're looking beyond.
Yeah, it's one of the layers of expectations while we bidded to host the championship, because the government has invested in facilities, and these facilities, after the games, each of the federations has its own calendar. We will be talking to them to bring the activities here, because we have first-class facilities where which compare with anyone in Olympic standards, and whatever continentals or regional competitions they're going to, this is the best place for them to train.
You are a sports marketer. So what does this National Sports Festival portend for Edo State economically?
Well, let's say before COVID, it had tremendous prospects. And COVID has changed the world and changed things and reduced expectations. We had hoped for a festival that's like a carnival, that, for the period of the festival, because of the interactive nature, the woman who is selling recharge card who normally sells about maybe 4,000, 5,000 a day, because of the number of increase in people in the town, she'll probably sell about 10,000. The woman selling pure water will have increase. Hotel accommodation will move from about 30-40% occupancy to 100%. But all of that now is virtually history, because COVID has created, fresh problems. And so the man in the Goose Street who was hoping to sell stuff is just going to be satisfied having a token, looking for the commercial part of that was otherwise there for us coming from the sports festival. We were expecting about 14,000 athletes and officials. Now it's 8,000. And then, of course, because of the need or the compulsory need to have COVID vaccination, some people, it might reduce that number, or hopefully it doesn't. But more importantly is the fact that the interactive nature of such a festival, it's lower than it would have been. So we'll just make do with what we see and ensure that we, against the background of the challenges of COVID, we're able to host a sporting event that will be remembered.
But it's not as if all hope is lost for vendors.
No, definitely not. People will still move about, but there will be more care, and it obviously will impact on sales and the bottom line somehow. So
what is the last word?
My last word is people of Edo State should support the government and the LOC, and should believe that this was a necessary event, and that would otherwise have opt a lot of things, but, nevertheless, we are making the most of the situation and putting our strongest foot forward, and that there is hope for sports in Edo State and after the festival too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure chatting with Godwin Dudu Orume, the chairman Edo State Sports Commission, and of course a man with 1,000 and more ideas about sports, a sports marketer, and also the man that has experiences in a lot of sporting activities, having worked or having served on the NFF team and also the NFA team. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you, Abiba.
And for those of you that have sent in comments, we'll say thank you so very much. And for keeping us on our feet, we'll say thank you. So on behalf of the producers and everybody that has worked behind the scene, my name is Habiba Oyege Oyarekwa. Good afternoon.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for, the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols. Edo State is ready to be a good host. Be part of this historic event. Signed, Media and Communications Subcommittee.
You are welcome, National Sports Festival, EDO 2020.
Here comes the sports extravaganza you have been waiting for, the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival. This is going to be the thrill of the decade, as hundreds of youths across the 35 states in Nigeria, including the FCT, converge on the ancient city of Benin to showcase their talents in the various sporting events: athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, swimming, wrestling, boxing, hockey, cycling, golf, weightlifting, and many more. Date 2nd April to 14th April 2021. President Muhammadu Buhari will virtually declare the sports fiesta open on April 6, 2021. Main venue is the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin City. Events will also hold at other centers across the state. Spectators and officials are expected to comply with the COVID-19 protocols.